Welcome to the Daily Record Spin. I'm your host, Jimmy Clements. Joining me today, as always, is the co-host of this show and my brother, Danny Okey. Danny, how you doing today, man?
Our Lord and Savior is back.
Yeah, she is.
Are you on your knees praying? Because I am.
I am.
Yes. I'm worshiping at the altar of Lorde. So
yeah, we're going to be talking
that's
about.
All I'm doing.
We're going to be talking about Virgin today. We're going to do a deep dive of that. Before that, though, we need to get into some scattered thoughts about the last month, because we were both in Italy, which was an amazing trip that I'm still trying to recover from, mostly because I broke my toe like 3 days after we got back. So been an interesting time for me.
Think about it this way. You could have broken it while we were in Italy, which would have been even worse. So,
well, that would have just fit like our Florida trip last year when I ended up getting an ingrown toenail so bad I had to have it surgically removed right afterwards, which ruined like the last 3 days of my trip. So
Yep. There's something about you and your toes.
And my feet, man. Oh my God. Sarah was making so much fun of me for that. I'm like, I'm going to need new feet by the time I'm like 40, I think, because they don't work. They don't work.
Rotten luck, dude.
Yeah. So I'm like a little hobbit just hobbling around my apartment right now. I can't really even go outside because I'm on a second floor walk up, and every time I go up and down those steps, that's all I can do for the day. So
yeah.
I bet I'm pretty much just like holed up in my apartment right now. So
awful.
It's good stuff.
Poor thing. Well,
yeah.
I guess it is a little bit of comfort that during that time, finally 2025 has decided to arrive with music. So,
thank God.
So that's good. At least we have that to keep us company while you recover.
Yeah, for sure. So let's get into a segment we haven't done in a minute, which is Bops and Flops. First, we're going to rapid fire some albums, some singles that we've heard this month, and just kind of talk about, was this a bop? Was this a flop? Danny, why don't you start us off with one of your picks here?
I will start off with, I have a couple of each, but and I know we both want to talk about Addison, so let's just jump right in.
Yeah.
One of my bops is the Addison album, which
100%.
I am really loving and returning to quite a bit. So I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts on it. I know you listened kind of for the first time in full while we were in Italy together, but obviously didn't have a whole lot of time to talk about it. So what are your thoughts on Addison?
My thoughts are she nailed the hardest thing to do, which is to have a clear sound and image. I felt like she killed that right away. And then as far as like depth and stuff goes, I don't think it's like the greatest album ever made, but it's a lot of fun. It's very her. It's unique. And I think for all those reasons, it was a huge success for me.
Yeah, totally agree. It's really hard. Like today's pop ecosystem is so oversaturated that to find an artist who can break through in such a way and just arrive with such a clear identity is like next to impossible these days. It takes a lot to achieve that. Like, you know, you think about someone like Tate McRae, who's been around for quite a few years now and still doesn't really have a clear identity, despite the label really trying to make it happen.
Right.
To have someone like Addison Rae, who started off as a TikToker, like you would think would be like I hate to use this word because it gets thrown around with no meaning, but a quote unquote industry plant. You know, you could that literally means nothing.
It means nothing.
But you know, you could so easily fit her into that box. But she came out with an album that was super weird and really eccentric and very her, and just sets her in a lane right away in pop. That people are in that lane, but she is clearly a big name in that lane now. And a lot of these songs I'm coming back to quite a bit. Quite a bit. Like all of the singles I love. I'm really glad I saved Fame as a Gun for the full album listening. That is incredible. What a tune. Headphones On continues to be
Headphones On such a bop.
One of the front runners of my song of the summer currently. I love some of the stuff that we didn't hear before, like In the Rain specifically is such a nice homage to kind of Timbaland and Nelly Furtado kind of aughts production. I love that. It's very promiscuous. That's kind of the first thing I thought of when I first heard it. And I love the chorus on that song. It's super simple. In fact, all of the choruses on this thing are really,
Very
really
simple.
simple.
Yeah.
But I think they make up for that with some really cool production choices by an all-woman team, which is unheard of. And I love that. I think that's amazing that she did that. And for her debut, too. It's just I'm rooting for her. I don't know how we got here. I never expected to be riding the Addison Rae bus in 2025, but I'm happy to be riding it. I'm loving it.
I so agree. I also really like Times Like These. That's another one I'll shout out.
Times Like These is great.
It's a good one. And then Diet Pepsi, I mean, it has staying power. Like, I still really, really like that song.
Yep.
So
completely agree. And Aquamarine, which I wasn't.
Aquamarine, also good.
I wasn't dying over it when it first came out, but in the context of the album, I dig it
I
so
like
much
it a lot.
more. Yeah. So good job, Addison Rae. I'm pretty impressed with what she was able to accomplish. All right, what's your first bop or flop?
Oh boy. Well, that was my main one. So
sorry to steal your thunder.
Hang on,
there.
let me go through my library real quick, what I've been listening to. Okay, I'm gonna go to Manchild, single from Sabrina Carpenter. We haven't talked about this yet. This also came out when we were in Italy. And bop. Obviously a bop. The story that the album cover created online after she dropped this song, very confusing. We should briefly talk about it, I guess, because it was a major topic of conversation.
And also dumb.
Just so dumb. Just so dumb. Like, Sabrina's entire thing is, I'm going to pull you in with sex, and then I'm going to, like, speak my mind. And then she did that again, and then people were like, how dare she? She's so submissive. She's anti-feminist. Like, first of all, those things aren't the same. And I don't know. Like, the discourse is insane. It's like literally insane.
At least once a day I get on the internet and I think to myself, not everything needs to be a think piece.
Correct.
I think this every day. I'll see a tweet or some kind of a post of somebody having a hot take. And I'm like, do we need to have a hot take on everything? Or can we just take some things and just say, that's for me or that's not for me, and move on? Like, I don't understand why there has to be so much discourse around this. Like, it's very, very clearly satirical to me. It's not my favorite image. Like, I don't think the picture is shot that well. Like, it's not my favorite album cover, but it has nothing to do with the subject matter of the shot.
Correct.
Like, she's clearly being tongue-in-cheek about being man's best friend,
right?
And all of the lyrics of this album are going to be littered with man hate, like right?
100%.
Like, we all know her. We all know this is her thing. I don't understand why we're making such a big deal out of it.
It's the people that don't even actively listen to her music that are saying these things. Yeah, it has to be, because there's no way you listen to Short and Sweet in full and we're like, that was your takeaway.
Right. Like, all they see is like the Juno positions from the concert and
espresso, and they're like, oh, she's just like a hot girl.
She's just sexual, and I'm like, whatever. You just don't get it. That's okay. Just say you don't get it and move on. We don't need a think piece about it. Yep. You know?
I so agree.
So dumb. But Manchild itself, here's my thoughts on Manchild and this album cycle as a whole. I think Manchild is a good to great Sabrina Carpenter single.
Yes.
I don't think it has the same kind of power that Espresso or Please, Please, Please did.
I agree.
And I am a little worried about the direction of the album because I don't want it to be too samey to Short and Sweet. I'm okay with artists kind of staying in the same lane for a few albums in a row. Like, I don't have a problem with that. Me.
You're allowed two in a row.
Because, like, I think to Olivia, right? And Guts really, kind of picks up where Sour left off. It's very much in the same lane, but I view Guts as a elevated, more mature version of Sour. And I think she really leaned into the kind of pop rock stuff, grungy stuff more on Guts. So it felt more like an evolution. Manchild to me doesn't feel quite like an evolution of what she was already doing on Short and Sweet. I'm okay if it's the same genre, same style, same producers, as long as you just give me a little bit of an evolution, if that makes sense.
Yeah, total sense.
So, I trust her. I'm sure it'll be a great album. Just to do it to do it 1 year after Short and Sweet and have it be kind of the same thing worries me just a bit. That's kind of
I'm kind of on the same page about that. Pop artists are in a really weird place with that because like it's sort of the one genre where you're expected to have these long eras and stuff.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's kind of interesting. She's kind of doing the hip hop model of let me just put out an album a year, maybe.
Right.
Or an album every 2 years, you know. She's like very prolific in that way. So
For sure.
you can't like ding her for that. That's awesome that she's always putting out music. I mean, that's what we love about Taylor. But yeah, I do want some evolution. But I'm okay. Sure. I'm okay with the same like sonic landscape. I think you do get 2 albums in a row to kind of do that. As long as the songs are good enough, you know, if people are responding to that sound, I understand why you would want to go back to it. So
yeah, for sure. And I will say this about her prolific release schedule is she's one of the only pop artists right now who I feel like really wants it.
Yes.
And
she's
likes being a pop star. You know what I mean? I feel like so many pop stars these days are like, I hate fame.
I know.
And doing this like brooding thing where like I feel like Sabrina really leans into it. And so I enjoy seeing that. And I feel like Addison actually is in the same boat there. Like they both are clearly people who want this and enjoy the work. So that's refreshing to see.
Yeah. I think you have to be aligned in a certain way, like mentally when you go into it. Like, I think as an artist, you're going to hit your ceiling if you can't dream of a bigger thing for yourself. You have to keep doing that. Yeah. And I think the people that don't mentally prepare and then have success right away, those are the people that flame out because they're just like overwhelmed by it all, you know?
Right.
But I can tell people like Sabrina imagined that for themselves, you know? This has been a long goal. So, and Addison.
Yeah, and she's worked her ass off to get here.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly.
Yeah. Either way, Man Child, definitely a contender for Song of the Summer for me. Great song.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, we still really don't have one. It's absolutely ridiculous. We're almost in July now. So
it's a bummer.
By the time this comes out, it will be July. So
Yep.
I don't understand what's going on. I mean, I will get to this later, but I'm actually like, I'm out on the recession pop idea. I don't think it's happening. I thought
it was for a second.
I thought it was too, but I think what's going to happen is like, this is more serious than the recession, what we're in right now. I think that we're going to get like protest music again. It's going to feel like the 60s. I think that's where we're headed, but I think we're in a weird time right before the dam breaks where people don't know what to put out.
Well, right now we're in a period of sterile white boy conservative Christian pop.
Yes, we really are. What's up with that?
Is like conservative music is so prevalent right now. Like Benson Boone is having a huge moment. Morgan Wallen is everywhere. His album has been number 1 since it came out. We have people like Alex Warren. That Ordinary song is so like it's the secular version of contemporary Christian music. It's like super weird. I don't know what is happening. It's such a stark difference from what we had last year with Pop Girls taking over. I'm like, I don't know what happened. Like, I just feel like there's a huge embrace of conservative values right now that is alarming to me.
Well, I mean, you look at
it's being reflected in music.
The election, the Republicans won all 3, you know, the House, the Senate, and the presidency. So like, there's going to be a wave of that. There's always like a call and response with those things.
For sure.
But yeah, I actually just think this is going to be a short era. And I mean, shit's going to hit the fan like realistically pretty soon for like the world at large.
Yeah, it has to. There has to be a breaking point.
And I feel like music will start reflecting that soon, but we're not quite there yet because it's just like, I feel like everyone's like this right now. They're just like clenching. They're waiting.
I think so too.
So that's why I don't think a recession pop's going to be a thing because it's not. We can no longer ignore a lot of the structural problems, which is what recession pop was, like pure escapism.
Yeah, it was pure escapism.
Yeah, I don't think that we're in a place like culturally, sociologically right now where like people are going to be able to ignore it in the same way.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a very good point. Well, only time will tell. Can we just like get Morgan Wallen off the charts? That's all I beg for.
I would love that. I would love that.
Off the charts, please. God.
Get yourself to God's country and not on the Billboard charts. Anyway.
Yep. Anyways.
Speaking of Billboard charts, do you see that Miley fell off the top 200 already?
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
That sucks.
Dude. That's a good album.
It's a really good album. really good. I don't know what happened. Like, genuinely, it's so bizarre to go from Flowers to this. Like,
It is.
her biggest hit of her career to a complete underperforming, what seems like a flop, even though I think it's her best work.
Yeah,
By far.
Charts flop for sure. Commercial flop.
I don't quite understand. I don't think the marketing was the best, and I think she really fumbled the ball with not releasing the movie right with the album.
Just insane. That was a really poor decision.
Huge mistake. And now it's not even coming to Disney Plus until the end of July.
Way too long.
That's when we can finally watch it at home. Like, it's still doing like limited theater runs, but like, I wanted to go see it. Like, I would have gone and seen it.
I haven't even heard about it.
It's not showing anywhere near me. I've tried.
Yeah. None of my friends have mentioned it, and I'm in LA.
Yep.
Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a mess. Like, it should have gone onto Disney Plus the day the album came out, and that should have been the primary push, because it is such a cinematic album. I just, that forever will be the downfall of this album, and that's such a bummer because it's a great body of work.
Yeah, I agree. What is your next bop or flop though?
I'll do my flop is kind of this John Bellion album. I know you haven't gotten all the way through it yet.
I haven't.
I do need to listen again. It's just not what I thought it was going to be, and it's a little bit of a scattershot. It doesn't really have a clear identity to me, and it just sucks because I love Wash so much. Like,
yeah,
that's one of my songs of the year, and the album as a whole, just, it was trying too much, and stylistically just wasn't what I wanted it to be. And I don't know that it's necessarily bad. It's just not for me.
Yeah. An issue I'm having with it, and I haven't finished it, and I owe it to John to finish it because I have been a big fan of his, is his older music used to have that like hip hop thing of being aspirational. Like, he talked a lot about like success and like chasing that and stuff. I don't feel like any of these songs are really connecting to that. I don't know that I've heard so far. And that's like such a key part of his musical identity for me that it feels weird to not have it. It's like, I mean, talk about what you've been doing the last 7 years. You've been writing some of the biggest songs ever and getting no credit for it, you know?
Right.
So talk about that in your music. That would feel more like what he does. And so it's just weird to me that he's not.
I agree. I don't know. It's just not what I was expecting. And maybe now that I know what to expect, I can go in with a more clear head and maybe find something out of it that I didn't get the first time. But it wasn't great in my opinion. Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah.
That's okay.
That's where I'm at.
I feel like I haven't listened much this month. I've honestly just been in a weird place. So I'll say I found this single called The Field. It's by Blood Orange. I really like this song. The music video has Naomi Scott from Aladdin and Smile 2 in it. It was really fun, and it's a really interesting song with a cool sound, and I recommend it. It has like 6 features on it, but like Caroline Polachek is on this song.
Cool.
It's really interesting. Anyway, just a sort of a deep shout out. My YouTube recommended it to me, the music video, and I was like, oh, this is rare. My YouTube doesn't usually send me music videos, so I was like, it's probably because I'm gonna like it. You know, the algorithm's so smart. And I was like, oh shit, I do like this a lot.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, that was a bop for me. Do you want to talk about Haim? I don't know if it's gonna be a bop or flop, but I haven't listened yet.
Haim is a bop for me, but I think there's a caveat. I think Haim is too consistent of a band to ever release anything bad. Like, that's where I'm at with them. Like, no matter what they do, I pretty much always enjoy it. You know what I mean? But I do think this is probably, and you know, it's early still, so more could grow on me. I do think this is their worst album so far, but I say that so loosely because I still am really having fun with it and really enjoying it. It's a sturdy collection of Haim songs, but they are Haim songs. Like, they feel very kind of cut and dry, exactly what you would expect from them. I felt like Women in Music Part 3 was pretty adventurous for them, and I think, you know, critically, obviously they had a huge moment with that album. Because I felt like they took a lot of risks and really changed the way they produced their songs and the way they performed their songs. And the songs themselves just were really sticky and had a lot of staying power. I feel like this is kind of just a Women in Music Part 4 and has a lot of the same things. It gets a little more adventurous towards the end, but it's more of like a, okay, let's try out this. All right, we'll try out this. And less of like a cohesive idea to really experiment, if that makes sense. It's only a few songs scattered throughout. It's very top heavy. The first half of the album I really love. The second half of the album gets a little dicey for me. So it's not my favorite Haim record, but even my least favorite Haim record is still one that I enjoyed a lot. I think this is one that I will turn on more so for vibes over individual songs and melodies.
Okay. Yeah, that's
where I'm at with it.
Sometimes a vibey album really works for me. So it just depends.
Yeah. Me too. I will say I listened to it by the pool the other day. That's the place to do it.
Yeah.
It's Haim.
They're Valley girls after all.
They make cute little summer bops, and that's where we're at. So, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. But net bop for me.
Okay, good. Any other projects or singles you want to hit?
The only thing I need to like actively warn everyone against is this new Jonas Brothers song, because it's absolutely horrendous.
Oh, it's bad. I did listen to that.
One of the worst things I've ever heard. In fact, I felt personally attacked when I listened to it. I was like, this is a stain on pop music. It is that egregiously bad to me. It feels offensive. It feels illegal to make something this offensively bad. Like that's where I'm at with it. Like, if you don't know and haven't listened to it, the chorus is lifted from Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. It's 280.
It's just the same song.
It's the same lyrics.
Yeah.
But worse.
Yeah.
It's offensive to me. I'm like, it is the laziest songwriting I've heard in years. And I'm just so annoyed with them that I know you really liked the album. I have not liked anything they've done since Happiness Begins. I just think they have sacrificed so much originality and I don't know, heart and soul, and have just thrown it out the window just to like get a quick moment on TikTok. That's just what it feels like to me, and I'm annoyed with them because they can do so much more.
One of the reasons I like the album so much is it shook them up a bit, because getting John Brennan's unique style, I think it was important for them. I don't know why they're releasing music right now. They don't seem like to be in a good headspace to be releasing music. I'm just saying. Agree. Like Joe needed to write his own little solo project and like peace out for a little bit. Like, I don't know why they're doing this. It feels stupid to me that they're putting out music right now. I get you need to make your money, and they also like try to have this arena tour, and then they had to cut a bunch of the dates because they weren't filling the arenas, and it's like, you guys just did the Eras tour thing.
Well,
and the whole point of that was
tour.
I know,
for
constantly.
Years. Like they haven't stopped.
Right. Just like
I saw them. I think I saw them in 2021. That's when that's when like tours started back up again. Maybe it was 2022. I don't remember. Yeah. I think it was 2021 though. It was like my first concert back post COVID, and ever since then they've been on tour. Like they have not stopped. Legit. So I'm like, just stop. Like rest.
Yeah.
For a second, like take some time to live life so that you have songs to write about.
Yeah, you can't do it. Your brain is starved. You're just like, don't do it.
It just feels like a machine, like a product machine right now. Yeah.
It's basically Benson Boone. I guess I didn't listen to this album because the reviews were so scathing. I mean, the Billboard review was like truly hysterical. Or not the Billboard, the Pitchfork one.
Yeah.
That was art. I mean, like that was art in terms of how viscerally it ripped him open, but
I haven't listened, so I'm going to refrain from saying too much because I don't want to jump on the hate bandwagon just for the sake of jumping on the hate bandwagon, because I do think that this is a talented person who is being steered in the wrong direction.
Yes, I mean,
he's only 22, I think.
Is he really that young? Damn.
Yeah, he's really young, and I do feel like he has a lot of promise. I just feel like he has a really bad team. And
the Imagine Dragons label is not helping. I mean, it's pushing him in that Christian rock direction.
Exactly. And he is just not being given good songs right now. No. And it's not working for him. So I will listen to it eventually. I do think some of the reviews were a little unnecessarily harsh, albeit funny.
I hate when people are that mean, but it was pretty well written. It was funny.
It was funny. It was funny, but at the same time, like, I don't want to hate him just to hate him. My biggest gripe with this is the album cover. I just think is utterly
awful,
meaningless and so tone deaf for the time.
So like, tone deaf.
From what I've heard from the subject material of the album, there isn't any kind of. He's not saying anything.
Yeah.
Essentially, like it's just like run of the mill pop songs. So again, from what I've heard, and if you're gonna have an album cover where you're like dirty and bare chested and holding the American flag, like you should be
in
saying
2025,
right? Like that. That's not just an imagery that you use lightly. Like that should indicate to your listener that you're going to give them a statement. Yeah. And it can go either direction, right? But like a statement is necessary with that kind of iconography. And for him to just say nothing using that to draw people in that just feels icky to me.
Yeah.
Just super icky.
It is icky. It's just bad.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Again, get a better team.
Immediately. Yeah. Fire everyone.
Immediately. Yeah. Correct.
I did kind of like the cheeky music video he did making fun of himself. It shows me that he has the ability to maybe evolve. So please help this man. He actually has a really good voice, guys.
He does. He's, like I said, he's talented. Like, someone rescue Benson Boone. Save Benson Boone in 2025.
Save him. I've been rewatching all the Hunger Games movies, which I'll talk about in like What Sparks Joy, but he just feels like he's being paraded around by the Capitol right now.
Yeah. That's such a good way to put it. It does feel like the vibe.
Yeah, it's propaganda in ridiculous outfits. It's literally the Capitol.
That's a really good point.
Okay. Any other scattered thoughts? Oh, I do want to briefly talk about. Was that your last?
No, that was my last. Flop? Yes.
100%. Okay. My ultimate flop of the month is this AI band. I don't know if you've heard of this. There's this group.
Yeah, you need to tell me about it because I've seen rumblings, but I have no idea what's going on.
Okay. This is a group called the Velvet Sundown. Their picture online is AI generated. Their music sounds vaguely AI generated. They have hundreds of thousands of streams on Spotify. And when you look up any information about them, their bio looks like it's written by ChatGPT. There seems to be no human connection to it. So I really honestly think this was a product that was completely made by AI, like by itself, like just without thinking, like it was thinking for itself, made an AI band, submitted it to the internet, and is now being listened to people. And then there's people questioning whether the people listening to them are even people or just bots that are on Spotify. So is AI being consumed by AI? Like, and we live in a terrible time where like literally 25% of the internet now is AI slop. John Oliver just did a segment on it this week. And there's the news that the Spotify CEO invested like $600 million into AI. What? Like, these are dark times. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Nobody wants this. No one wants this. Literally zero people want it.
I do feel like AI has some merit in certain circumstances.
Yes, it is useful in certain capacities.
In the medical field, and I do feel like ChatGPT does a lot of good for like, people with like ADHD who really need like very clear guidelines. Like it can create your entire grocery list for you and give you charts and organize things. Like I do think that there is value in AI. However, I do think that we went too far too fast with a lot of this. And as soon as it gets into art, get rid of it immediately. Yeah. Because the entire point of art is that it's human, right? It's one of the only things in our life that really shows you the inner workings of what it feels like to be a human. That's why we need art. That's why it exists. And for AI to just take an algorithm, learn what humans have done, and then try to create something that's so soulless and anti-art that it just like, I'm like, at that point, I don't want any of it. If it's going to get this far, then get rid of it entirely. That's where I'm at.
It's just ugly. And I'm like not even against using AI to create art. There's certain elements, like opportunities where it does help, like in terms of things like for instance, there's some AI based like music editing tools. that will make suggestions to you based on it's listened to 10,000 songs and it recommends this. But like,
Sure.
you shouldn't be using it to generate ideas.
No.
Like that should come from people. And if you need help, like with finishing touches, with technical aspects, I think AI has some value in that way. But like, for instance, the Oscars are making everyone disclose exactly how they're using AI in their movie production going forward, which is really cool. They're not eliminating movies that use it because it's just a fact of life now that people will be using AI, but they do have to specifically lay out every time AI was used in their submission. And I think that kind of thing is really good. Like there should be guardrails for this stuff, and Spotify needs to, I'm sorry, figure this out. They need to get these things deplatformed immediately. You can't have music that's being made completely by machines that is like monetized and generating.
Or again, disclose, right?
Yeah.
Put on the page, this is an AI generated music, right?
Yeah.
And if people want to listen to it, that's their prerogative. I don't know why you'd want to, but you know, if people are going to do that, let them do that. But it needs to be disclosed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like we need like an FDA for AI.
We caught all the government and regulators. There aren't any anymore. They're all gone.
Yeah, God. Oh, vey. Anyways, that's grim, and I want that to die immediately. Please, Spotify, you need to get that under control.
Yeah. It's gross. Any other random music musings you want to talk about real quick?
No, I think we covered it all.
Okay, I have one more. Okay. Just announced yesterday that Charlie's next album is being done with Jack Antonoff. I want to know your thoughts.
I don't want to talk about it. I'm so whatever. I love Jack. I'm never gonna shit on Jack. If there's one person on the planet that I never expected to go the Jack Antonoff route, it was Charlie XCX. And I don't even know what kind of music they would make together. I'm just so like, what the hell are we doing?
Money making music. They're doing it to make money.
Yeah. That's just
because like honestly, whatever. Like I just saw GNX has been on the charts for 22 weeks right now. It's like the longest that it's I think for #1 rap album. And it's like the longest ever that a rap album has been on the charts for that long, like at #1.
Okay.
Like, and Jack produced that too. Like he's just really good at making money. He like knows exactly what people want to listen to. And Charlie's like, I'm famous now. Let me go make some money.
Charlie's always been someone who's like, I'm doing it for the art. She's always been that person.
But at some point you got to secure the bag. You know, she's been probably surviving on her music for like 10 years. Not really thriving on it. And she has a chance to like be rich now. So she should do that for her.
Yeah.
And it might be good.
I guess.
It might be good.
I just hate how much music has become a product like that.
It's always really been though. That's why people work with Max Martin.
I know it has. I know it's always been a product. I just feel like more so than ever, like the way the Billboard charts are functioning now.
Yeah.
I just feel like everything is how long can I stay on these charts rather than like how good of a music can I put out.
Right.
So I don't know. That bothers me. I'll give Jack the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he'll do a little beep beep boop boop bop with Charlie. I don't foresee that. It's probably going to be the same boring drone synth that we've had for the past 5 years. But if it's not, I will throw him my flowers. But until I get that, yay synths. Next.
The Kendrick album is really good, and I actually really liked oh my god, please. Like I think that's a great fun. So he has great ideas. He
does.
I need him to not make 30-song albums with Taylor Swift anymore. So
correct.
That's really honestly, like if you remove the Taylor of it all, I don't mind anything he's really done lately. It's just been it's been a mixed bag.
Torture Poets was the breaking point. That was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I mean, it was just like too much at that point, and I was like, let this man go on vacation for a second, get some new ideas, because woof. And I can't blame it all on him. Like clearly that was the direction she wanted as well, so I got to blame her too. Yeah. But woof. Maybe, and who knows? Really rough. Maybe Charlie can bring something out in him. We'll see.
That's what I'm hoping.
She's very strong-willed with her music and has a very clear direction. So it's possible he will just be there to facilitate and not to create.
Yeah, and I think that will be more how it goes, to be honest.
Yeah,
like she runs the show, so I am interested in that collaboration
for sure.
I just thought it was very noteworthy because it seems kind of out of the blue.
Yep.
Especially after
Agreed.
Lorde just did the opposite, where she like
Right.
went from Jack to like indie producers, and now
Yeah. All right. So let's
let's
dive
just do
in.
it. Let's do it.
Let's go to Lorde, because I am living my best life listening to Virgin,
Yeah.
and I am so happy with the direction that she went in, and it's getting a lot of mixed reviews and very divisive opinions online. So
I don't know why.
we got to get into it, because I also don't know why. I'm very confused. But I do think a lot of it has to do with the production. So as we always do, let's start at the beginning and talk about Hammer.
Yeah, do you want to do the song by song first or overall thoughts first?
I guess let's do overall thoughts first.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Here's why I think that some of the negative reviews happened. This is my conjecture.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember coming out of COVID when like Top Gun Maverick saved movies?
Yeah.
Like everyone went back to the theater to see Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
I think people, because of how bad it's been, had circled this album as being Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's a indie introspective album that happens to be phenomenal, I think, but
yes,
is not that I just came back and saved the music industry thing. Now it is going to debut at number 1, it looks like, thanks to a Glastonbury boost. So I'm very happy for that. It will be her first, which is shocking to me. Melodrama premiered at 5.
That's absurd to me.
5.
To think back retroactively, like that's wild.
Yeah, it is. And then Solar Power at 2, which is interesting as well. Because obviously we know how we feel about those two albums, but like because of Melodrama, Solar Power debuted higher. I'm honestly surprised that Virgin's doing this well. Because of its sort of lesser commercial viability.
For sure.
That being said, I just think it's a phenomenal piece of art. Like I absolutely love this album. So is that kind of how you feel? Because or do you think people have like really specific criticisms of this that I'm not aware of?
No, I think you're pretty spot on that this is it's not a commercial juggernaut like Melodrama was. And that's even like saying something, because I felt like Melodrama was weird too. You know what I mean? Like
it is. I think in retrospect it changed music forever, and so like we think of it that way. Like us music
so now
heads.
When you listen to it, it kind of sounds like everything that followed.
Yeah.
Right. But at the time, like I don't remember it being like such a juggernaut. I really feel like it became that in hindsight.
Yeah.
I just feel like people want Lorde to be a main pop girl, and I have no idea why, because she just does not give main pop girl energy at all, and she's always done her weird little art projects and then dipped. Like that's been her shtick always. What I think the main criticism, at least that I've seen, is that Melodrama is filled to the brim with just euphoric pop moments, like huge production walls of sound, maximalism, choruses that are still stuck in your head. Like, although it's not necessarily like straight down the line pop, it gives you a lot of satisfying ear candy, right?
Yeah.
This is so much more sparse, and Jimmy Stacks, who is the primary collaborator here, I feel like his production is it really makes you wait for it, right? It kind of edges you a lot throughout the album, and you don't get the release very much. There's only a few moments on the album where you truly get that like full release, whereas you were getting that everywhere on Melodrama.
Every song kind of had its
had the arc, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I think this is meant to be kind of a listen to in whole, so that you get the satisfying moments at the right time. And there's peaks and valleys. And I think that's probably the main critique, is I think people are bored waiting for that.
Yeah.
Don't have the patience to wait for that. And they don't have as much to chew into like melodically and chorus wise, and it's just a little bit quieter. I think that's the main critique, but I just think they're missing the point.
Yeah. I also question whether there's an actual hit on this album. I don't know that there is.
I don't think there is. I think,
and that kind of works against it too.
There's a couple, and we'll talk about it. There's a couple that I think are really radio sensible, whatever that means anymore. But I think subject matter wise, like I think musically they feel very radio friendly, but subject matter wise, maybe not so much. So yeah, I don't know that there's really a hit on here, and I don't really care.
I also agree. I don't care because the album is phenomenal. And we both, I've said that word multiple times now, but we both had the same reaction that we think this is the first project that's come out this year that rivals what the main pop girls were doing last year. So even if Lorde is not a quote unquote main pop girl, her level of detail and ambition on this project, I think, is much more significant than anything else other than that what we got from them last year. You know, this is as cohesive and complete an album as Eternal Sunshine or Cowboy Carter or Him and Hard and Soft. You know, it's in that air, you know, that stratosphere, I would say, in terms of like how it feels as a complete project. The depth of emotion and like introspection that she gets into in this album is incredible. Like, this is as raw of an album I've heard, honestly, since Plus, like Ed Sheeran's debut album.
Wow. Yeah.
Where I just feel like you just said some crazy shit that you would not usually admit to people, and you just told the entire world. So that's some
literally
wild
whatever
shit.
comes to your mind.
yeah. You were just saying stuff.
The whole album feels like a total just stream of consciousness. Like, this popped in my head, so I'm going to write it down. And it also feels like very of the moment, like a very specific snapshot of time.
Yes.
In her psyche, which is cool. Yeah, I love it feels so grimy, grungy, dirty, very industrial sounds happening here. I'm dying to like walk around New York City listening to this. Like, this feels like such a New York kind of an album to me. It's just got that kind of city feel. And yeah, I think the sounds are a little bit more experimental than people were wanting it to be.
Even though but I felt like that was going to be clear all along. I don't know. It's not hyper pop. It's stripped down, but it has the same energy of just like, we're going to make weird sound design, that kind of stuff going on here.
No, for anyone paying attention, that we all knew that's what was coming. For the people who just wanted like pop bangers, they're the ones that are mad, and let them be mad. Go listen to Lady Gaga's album. Right.
Or even Addison Rae, like if that's what you wanted.
Right.
So, okay.
I don't know.
So why don't we go start through now with Hammer?
Okay. Hammer. I think this is maybe my favorite song on the album.
That's super fair.
I think maybe it's early still, but I think this is probably the one that I want to listen to the most currently.
Yeah.
It's such a good stage setter, both thematically and musically.
Yeah.
I think it really tells you exactly what you're going to get throughout the rest of the album. So I was intrigued why she released this one early. I thought that was an interesting choice.
I'm just going to say it right now about what I think her release strategy was. Okay. I love Hammer, and I actually love a lot of these first few songs, but it's a slow start to an album. I actually think this album is bottom heavy. It picks up in the second half for me. Which is extremely rare for an album. But I think that is what's going to make it have a lot of staying power in my mind, is that it's just so full of great songs at the back half. But I think she released 3 songs in the first 4. So I think give people anchor points to keep going, because I think it gets better as it goes. And so many people are like, I'm going to dip, you know, if I don't like the first couple things of something. But if they know those, they're like, okay, interesting. I'm not quite sure. And then it just really hooks you, I think. Songs 5, 6, 7. It's like, whoa, where are we going now? So
that's a good point. Yeah.
That's probably, I'm guessing, why her team decided to release it that way.
Interesting. Yeah. I love the quasi drop that you get here.
Oh yeah, the boom 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 boom.
Yeah. The way it builds and says up, 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 and then you get that drop. It's not a super satisfying like total beat drop, but the production choices there just feel super grimy and fun. It's the most Lorde lyrics ever. Like, I'm not sure if this is I'm not sure if this is something or ovulation. And I'm like, wow, nobody else can write that except for Lorde. Like the opening line of the damn album, and she's talking about ovulation. I'm like, yeah, that checks out. That sounds like a Lorde album
for sure. Don't know if it's love or if it's ovulation.
Or if
when
it's
you're
ovulation.
holding a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Everything looks like a nail.
What a great
that is
line.
a bar.
It is, man.
I think that's my pick for best lyric on the album. When you're holding a hammer,
Everything looks like a nail. Yeah, I agree. I think so too.
Yeah. It feels structure-wise very similar to Greenlight.
Yes,
but
actually.
so much less of a pop song than Greenlight was.
Oh yes.
Like we're doing something weirder for sure. And I love that she really gives you kind of a build up at the end only to just end the song.
I know. Well, and
like,
did you watch the Zane Lowe interview? Have you had a chance to do
I
that?
haven't yet. I want
so she talks a lot about, actually, they both do, about how she doesn't want this album to ever arrive because she doesn't feel like she's personally arrived. She feels like this album is like just things she needed to get out so that she could move forward. And for her, it's just like, I am contemplating all of this, but I am not like signing off on any of this. This is all just things going through me. And I just feel like I have to throw them out there. So she's like, I don't ever want to arrive anywhere at this album because this is not an arrival at all.
Wow.
So
well,
that goes with the edging thing. It's like, it doesn't actually like go anywhere. All of these songs are just like, I'm trapped in this thing until the end. Actually, I think there's some release at the end, but
I do too. I feel like there's a little bit of a somewhat of a conclusion at the end.
Yeah, there's a breath,
but
there's a deep breath finally.
But that goes right along. Yeah, exactly what I was saying. Musically, there's so much less satisfying moments. You're left wanting more a lot of the time. It feels like a stream of consciousness. That just confirms kind of a lot of what I was saying there. So that's interesting that that was intentional. I mean, I knew it was nothing's unintentional with her, but yes, that's cool confirmation to hear.
And that's something I got from the interview too. Like this is like, so everything about this album is extremely intentional. Like the way she set it up, like she talked about how they kind of started with a palette of sounds. She just was like, they were going to find sounds. And then she's like, we just tried to reuse the same ingredients throughout the entire album so that it felt like very much of a piece. Cohesive. So she's like, that was how we started. We were really just picking things out. I like this. I like that. Here's some cool sounds we can make with the computer. Here's some like, more stripped down sounds. And let's kind of mash them together. So that always tells me that it's like, Jeff was in the kitchen here. We knew what was going on. Even if the lyrics are just like all over the place. It's like she knew where she would needed to end. Like where it all needed to figure itself out,
Yep, exactly. That's really cool. I need to watch that interview. Stat.
She's so weird. It is a bit of a hard watch at times because just like, what are you saying?
Yeah, when you hear her talk, you're like, oh man, we would not get along. We would not get along.
I would find you a bit insufferable.
That's how I felt. Like my other most favorite album of this year so far is Eusexua.
That's how she felt too.
And Twigs she is so weird. Like I can't watch a single interview with her. I'm like, what? You're just saying anything. You're just saying anything. Like there's no way. So I mean, artists are weird. Like
they are.
Go be weird and make good art, whatever.
But this is why Zane Lowe is the best, because he always takes whatever she said and he does this thing and it's like, all right, we're gonna do that now. He's so good at that. And she's always like, I didn't know they were both from Auckland, New Zealand. Did you know that?
I did not know that. No.
Yeah. I knew
she was from New Zealand. I didn't know he was.
They both are. I was fascinated by that. I was like, oh, so they kind of speak each other's language in a weird way.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm like, girl, I don't know how I would handle that interview. It was very strange.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think Hammer is a great scene setter for what we get, and like I said, it is like ear candy to me. I love that song. What was that feels even better in the context of the album than it did as a single. I think. I quite liked it as a single. I really did enjoy it, but I think there's something about Hammer that really it sets you up with that expectation. Okay, we're not fully going to arrive, and so it makes What Was That feel like a really great track too, whereas that aspect makes it not quite as great of a lead single.
Deep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes 100% sense, actually.
Like Greenlight is like the most ear candy you can get in a pop song.
Yeah.
The way it modulates in the chorus. I mean, you have a full arc in that one song, and you truly arrive, and there feels like a climax, a release at the end. Like what was that? It never gets there and never goes there, and it's not trying to go there. So as a lead single, I was like, yeah, I like these sounds, rather than like, oh, this is the best pop song I've ever heard in my life.
Right.
Whereas in the context of the album, and now you're like, oh, okay, we're not really doing that here. That's okay. And this is an excellent track too.
Yeah. Have you heard the internet rumors that she had an affair with Jimmy Stax making this album?
Yes, I have heard this.
So listening to the album with this lens, it's really fun to try to figure out which songs are about that. Because I think this one might be.
Okay, interesting.
To be honest.
I've not fully dissected that aspect of it, but I did see his wife like posted some weird cryptic stuff on TikTok about it,
she sure did.
alluding to it.
She was like, ended a 6.5-year relationship to just start dating the girl that you were making an album with. And I was like,
yeah.
Oh, girl.
Nice.
Yeah. And it was like
messy.
very clearly his ex. So.
Yep. Right. What is MDMA?
Ecstasy.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I figured it was some sort of drug because she says MDMA
or Molly. Like they're all kind of the same.
Yeah, blow our pupils up is the line. So I figured it was some sort of drug. I've never heard that before. So that's news to me. Okay, thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, that chorus is super satisfying to me. Love the sounds. Again, super New York, very gritty.
Yes, very.
And then after that, we get into Shapeshifter, which is the grower of the album for me.
Same, dude.
Really? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people online are like literally gagging and gooping over this song. Saying like this is the best thing she's ever done. And for me, it took me a few listens to really get there.
Yeah.
But I think this is the one that is perhaps most similar to Ribs, which also took me a long time to get into.
Mm-hmm.
And Ribs is like the internet fan favorite. So there was something just about the way this song built that I was like, okay, like I like this, but I'm not sure that I'm like in love with it. And then I went on a walk a couple days ago and was like, oh, I get it now. It just like I got full body chills and connected to it. But it's a very profound, very sad tale.
This song's heartbreaking, dude.
Yeah, it's very sad. Like I've been everything that I need to be for everybody so that I'm not affected by anything, essentially. Yeah.
And she really talks about how actually a lot of this album, and I'm sure that the reason it's called Virgin is because of this, but she talks a lot in the Zane Lowe interview, talking about how like sex just had become her god in this like era of her life, that she's always like fluctuated between having different gods. And she'll talk about another one later in the album, but she said that like sex kind of became that for her. And she was just like, she got to a place where she wasn't even sure like why she was doing any of it. It wasn't like for any need. It was just like, I'm doing this, and this song kind of is about that. How like she was just whatever she needed to be just to like feel something kind of. And that's like really, really fucking depressing.
Yeah. But it does feel like this is one of the only songs you feel like she has learned something in hindsight.
Yes.
Right? Like the Tonight I Just Want to Fall, right? I've been put on this pedestal, but tonight I just want to fall. It's one of the only moments on the album that feels like, oh, we've experienced, we've reflected, and we've learned. Right? Yes. Most of the album just feels like we've experienced. And we don't get much further than that. So it is satisfying narratively, I think, to have that.
I think this chorus is the standout like melodic part of the whole album for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like it's a very
melodic chorus.
Incredible. Paired with what I think is one of the most grating verses that I've ever heard in a song. So that's why I think it took a little bit for me. Like I do not like the sound of her voice on that verse. It is like, I don't think it's like even in key. Like it's really
it's talking. It's just talking.
It is talking, but I don't feel like the key is supportive of the natural timbre of her voice. So it just sounds like really grating to me. And then it moves in that pre-chorus, and you're like, where? And then where it ends up is just crazy to me. Like that chorus is pure euphoria for me. I absolutely love it,
especially towards the end. She loves to give you just like exactly what you were wanting in the outro, and then just end the song.
She actually talks about that too. She talks about wanting to land every song. She feels like she needs to take care of her listeners, and so no matter what she puts them through, she wants to like lay them down in a soft pillow at the end of every song.
Yes, and she does.
Like, she really does.
She absolutely does. But she does not let that linger. She's
not sentimental. And that was I know I'll keep bringing up this interview, but she's like 34 minutes in 2025 is a lot of time. I don't want to waste a single second of this thing. Like
Yeah.
it's very, like important to me that you've decided to listen to this and give up a half hour of your life. So like, I'm not going to waste it,
Yeah. Yeah. And nothing is wasted for sure.
No,
For sure.
not at all.
But no, the ending outros of this album are kind of like, okay, fine, here you go. Bye.
Literally.
Yeah. No, Shapeshifter is super special, and it's definitely climbing up the ranking for me. Absolutely.
Same here.
Okay, talk to me about Man of the Year. Sell me on this one, because I think if I was like forced at gunpoint to cut one, it would be this one for me.
Oh, interesting.
Only musically, because I think when it does arrive, right, when you get the really crazy kind of pots and pans banging against each other at the end, I'm all in, right?
Yeah.
But this is the one time the sparse production for me is a little too sparse.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with you. This song is 70 lyrics, 30 music for me in terms of why I like it.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think it fulfills an important part in terms of its place in the album, in terms of introducing new songs, because we've gotten this very industrial pop thing for the first 3 songs. And this is the first one that puts in sort of that organic, like guitar type of sound, which then gets morphed later, which is, I can't wait to talk about my favorite production bit later on.
Yeah.
But it does bring in this little guitar sound, this very like clean DI guitar, the very like kind of woody bass. And those elements do recur throughout this album. And I think it's an important aspect of the sonic quality of the album as a whole to make it feel like, it makes it feel 2 things for me. One, that like these songs could have been recorded with her in an acoustic guitar. They do have a lot of that quality, like almost all the way through.
Yeah.
And then, so it kind of reminds you of that singer-songwriter energy. And then there's also like a bit of a rock vibe to the rest of the album that's not really in the first 3 songs that are much more poppy, I think. And so I think it's like saying, hey, we're going to skew slightly into this genre for a little bit. Let me just like guide the listener into that. So I think that's what the song, I think it's like a linchpin song, and probably a reason that she released it early, because I think having the familiarity with the song helps you through it, because it's a bit weird.
Yes, I completely agree with that. I think I would have been really like, had I not known it ahead of time.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think it helped knowing what I was getting into, knowing what to expect. Yeah, I agree. This is one I need to do a more lyrical dive on, and I realistically need to do that with the whole album, because lyrics always come last for me.
Yeah.
But I think once I really get into the meaning of the song, I'll like it better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think this is one of those where I'm in a transient state. Let me just write how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah,
kind of song,
definitely.
Yeah.
This album honestly could have had the same title as Charlie XCX's 2020 album, How I'm Feeling Now.
Literally.
Yeah, it literally could be the same title.
That's sort of what's going on here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what's after Man of the Year? Is it
Favorite Daughter? Yeah.
Okay, so this to me is the song that feels the most like, if we're gonna put anything on pop radio, let's put Favorite Daughter.
I 100% agree with that. Yeah.
That chorus is just, wow, that is a pop chorus. This feels like the most pop she's ever been to me.
Yeah.
Despite having a lot of like really not super straightforward pop stuff throughout the beginning of the album, this one feels to me like, we're going to make a pop song, and we're going to make a damn good pop song. That's how it feels to me. But subject matter, it's much deeper than like your typical pop song, right? It's much deeper than that. But the chorus is a little funky the way it starts. It's kind of offset by a beat a little bit.
It is.
And not really exactly what you'd expect, but once you get used to it, it's like, oh man, it's phenomenal. I'm not sure here. Are we talking to her mom? Are we talking to her fans?
She explicitly says it's both in the interview.
Okay. Well, there we go. Because I figured it was both. That's kind of the takeaway I got from it. But because it kind of goes back and forth. Like, it feels to me like at one point we're talking about the fans, at one point we're talking about mom. So I wasn't sure where we were. But I'm glad I read that correctly, that it's about both.
Yeah. I think she was kind of like, it started being about one, and then it really ended up being about the other. So it's like kind of
interesting.
Yeah, both.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder what her relationship with her mother is. That's
I
seems
think
profound.
she talks about kind of holding her mom up on a pedestal. So I think she deeply loves her mom.
Okay.
But it's a
All right,
thing
that's
where
good.
it's like that was how she fought for approval, was accomplishments, you know?
Yeah. Right.
So that's a tale as old as time,
Crazy.
Unfortunately.
Oh, it sure is. It
Yeah.
sure is. But this is a highlight for me. This is one of my favorites on the album.
I agree.
So good.
Okay, next song is one of my favorites. Current Affairs.
Is this Current Affairs? Yes.
Yes.
This is the Louvre of Virgin.
Oh, okay.
It's got that same kind of feel, right? Like when the drop comes, it's not really a drop. It's like this like weird like vibey trance like state.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of structure to me as the Louvre.
Yeah. It's so raw.
It is so raw.
Like this is like deep confessional shit.
Mm-hmm.
This is I'm in the confession booth at church, you know, with the priest. This is what I'm telling him right now. I mean, this chorus, my bed is on fire, mama. I'm so scared. Don't know how to come back once I get out on the edge. He spit in my mouth like he's saying a prayer, but now I'm crying on the phone, swearing nothing's wrong. Woo! Damn. And then one of my other favorite lines, you're in the light, then you're in the dark, then someone throws a flare. You tasted my underwear, I knew we were fucked.
Yeah.
Like, ooh.
Oh, God.
That's some poetry right there.
Yeah, she really let us in on this one.
Yeah. Like, I honestly love songs about affairs. I just find them very emotionally rich. Just because I think it's a universal thing that everyone knows it's bad. You know?
Right.
And then people do it anyway, and that's very interesting.
It is. Yeah.
And so like dealing in this what were you saying? Sorry.
It creates a very interesting narrative.
Yes, always. Yeah.
And often leads to, unfortunately, incredible songs like Lips of an Angel.
Well, okay, Hinder reference.
Great song.
That was my middle school era. Oh my God.
I love that song.
What a great song.
It's so good.
Yeah. It'd be so corny now. Like people would say it's like Benson Boone slop now, but I love it.
I loved it at the time and still do.
Sorry. So good.
Yeah, this is a really special one. I think the kind of like distorted male voice that happens kind of in the chorus drop after she says current affairs, I think is saying something about pussy and
it does. I will read the lyrics.
What are the words there? Because it's kind of what the hell is going
on. Girl, your pussy good. It grip me. Girl, your pussy good. It grip me good. That's what it's saying there.
Okay.
It's Dexta. Right. It's a sample from Dexta Daps, who I'm assuming is a rapper.
Oh, it is a sample. Okay. Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was like her voice pitched down or anything. No. Yeah, I would not have known. Like it seemed I don't know what the word is, but like I could not make out what he was saying.
Yeah.
Unintelligible is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And I saw on Twitter that somebody posted the lyrics, and I was like, "Where the hell in the album is that? What are you talking about?" And then I realized it was the weird sample, and I was like, "Oh, okay, well, that's all right." It's like I do not remember her talking about any of this, but okay.
She slid it in there just quietly.
Yeah, she sure did. Yeah, great song.
And so
love Current Affairs. Huge. Oh God, huge highlight of the album for me. Yeah, and then. Is the next song Hide and Seek by Imogen Heap? I mean,
you mean Clear Blue?
Clear Blue.
It's so Imogen Heap.
It's so Imogen Heap.
It is. This is a highlight for me too.
Yeah, this one's crazy.
I really love this
crazy.
Song.
I get full body chills when I hear this song.
It tickles to my brain. It's a good one.
Yeah, it feels like just the right time to just drop everything out.
Oh yeah,
and just hear her words.
And it's a very like kind of strophic song. Like it's basically just like one melody. It's like kind of like an Irish drinking song or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it really fits this sort of super stripped down approach where it's just like, let me hear that little lilt of the melody and these devastating lyrics. My God.
Devastating. God. Like, girl, like some things just like write in a journal. I don't know, but I guess this is her journal, right?
It is.
There's a bar that she has later on the album. I think it's If She Could See Me Now, where she basically said something about I'll process it all on the synthesizer or something.
Which
I think is such a great line for people who are recording artists, and that's definitely like this is her This is her journal. This is her medium for that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Clear Blue is super cool. I'm such a sucker for a vocoder, man.
Me too.
Anytime I hear a
vocoder.
vocoder, I'm like, great, 10. 10 out of 10. Next.
I'll have 14 more.
You could literally be saying anything, and if I have a vocoder, I'm like, awesome.
I like how the vocoder's mixed in here too. It's actually like kind of deep down in the mix. So it's just that little subtle hint of the vocoder, and it's like, ooh.
I know. Ooh. So good. It scratches my brain.
Yeah.
Okay, is next Grown Woman? Not Get Ready With Me?
Not Get Ready With Me, which was so confusing. I was so
that blew my mind. I was certain it was going to be Get Ready
What do you mean?
Especially the Spotify canvas is literally a Get Ready With Me, which is so funny. Have you noticed that?
No, I didn't. But she also says in the second verse, Pink Galaxy Left Undressed, 2009 made me so impressed. So there's like almost a reference to it. It's cheeky. I don't know. I was just expecting it so much.
I know. I just thought surely that's what this is. That's what GRWM means. But nope, it's Grown Woman.
I just read it as Get Ready With. Like I didn't even read it as GRWM. It's like
me neither.
It's like Get Ready.
In fact, I'm having to retrain my brain to call it Grown Woman and not Get Ready With Me.
Well, it's called GRWM actually. So
right. Well, anyway. This one is wild. This took me on a trip. That
it is a trip.
Wide hips.
Wide hips, tooth chip, 96, skin scarred, looking forward. Wide hips, soft lips, my mama's trauma since 96. Been looking for a grown woman.
It's just such a groove, man.
Yeah.
The production there just hits you. It's so, I just love it. It's so gritty.
Yeah.
She does gritty so well.
She does.
She really does.
And in another era, she would have been Kurt Cobain. Like that would.
Yeah.
She would have been up there with the guitars, just like flopping her hair.
Yeah. That part just feels dirty to me, but the rest of it feels very like, ooh, melodic and kind of vibey. And then you get that part and it's like, oh, I love the juxtaposition of that. I haven't really fathomed the lyrics of this song yet. I think this is just a tale of growing up. Is that what you gather from this? I don't really know.
There are lyrics in this song. I can't I can't interpret them. This is one of those I'm just
on
like,
the same page.
You sing, girl.
Yeah. I think this just like feels like to me as a retrospective of this is what I envisioned for myself younger and I have arrived kind of a thing. But I haven't really fathomed it yet.
Yeah, but she says I can't find a grown woman, so I think it's kind of like a thing of like I should be this by now and I don't feel that yet.
And I'm not. Yeah.
This is such a common thing with old souls too, and I really feel like that's the trajectory of her career. To start out with something so profound and then like go through your 20s and be like, just because I've gone through this and everyone always said I was an old soul, of like feeling like you are always older than your age, and then you hit your 20s and then suddenly you're learning to be your age and you feel younger almost again. And then it's like you hit your 30s and you're starting to, at least for me, it's like I'm starting to actually finally for the first time in my life sort of feel the age that I am.
Your age.
Yeah. It's really interesting.
That's interesting.
So I feel like a lot of her, like the journey of her albums has sort of been that too, of like going from like I'm way out here seeing the whole world around me to like, let me talk about, am I ovulating today? And I just want to smash stuff. It's like,
because like what teenager writes Royals? That's crazy.
No, it's
I cannot
insane.
believe she started with that. I mean, wow, what a commentary.
Song of a generation. Like it truly, seriously, like, it really is.
Yeah,
Royals really kind of ended the whole like popping bottles and partying in pop music.
It kind of did,
because they said that and everyone was like, "Oh, you're right. Like nobody can afford to do that anymore, and nobody's doing that anymore." This is such a random fact.
We're sad now.
Factoid that I'm going to bring up here, but like the Oklahoma City Thunder obviously beat the Pacers in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, which was such a bummer. But one of the like fascinating things from like sports reporters was talking about their locker room celebration afterwards. Like most people are just like popping bottles of champagne, spraying it on each other. It's like chugging by the bottle. They said they opened champagne, but like a couple people had some, and most of the like this is like the youngest team in the NBA. They just like were not drinking. Some of them had their first drink ever after winning this thing. Like Gen Z does not drink alcohol. It's very weird. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it like all of the connections I still had to like the organization I was in college like after I left and like maybe like one grade below me left, I hear about their parties now and nobody drinks at those parties. They all just get high. It's so
weed
weird.
has just replaced drinking.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
replaced alcohol.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm like, that's crazy because I was drinking up a storm in college. So
Same.
yeah, it's weird how much that has shifted, but that's crazy to think about.
No, but yeah, like that's like what Lorde is getting at with, Royals. She just saw it all coming. Like she did. 16 and just like
yeah, she really saw it all at that point. Okay, what comes after is this Broken Glass?
Broken Glass, man. Yeah.
Broken Glass, super sad. I think this is, if I'm gonna pick one that could like go on radio and serve as a top to bottom pop song with a very clear narrative and a arrival at something, I would pick this song. This feels very empowering, but also sad, and melodically is super straightforward pop and so yummy to listen to.
Yeah. So
especially that chorus.
I'll again mention the Zane Lowe interview. She said she turned this song in 2 weeks ago.
Oh my God.
Right
you're
before
kidding.
pressing. She couldn't write the song. This is about her eating disorder. And she said it was so difficult for her to write this that she like was just dragging her feet the entire time. And like Jimmy, I guess, was just begging her to let it out because clearly it had just been on her mind a lot. And she finally found a way, and this is the song. And she she literally finished it 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Wow. That's insane to think about. Wow. That hit me.
I know, right?
Yeah, I figured it was about her eating disorder. But it feels so, doesn't it feel like we're on the other side of it to you?
Yes.
Like it feels like we've really healed.
Yeah. This feels like retrospective. Yeah.
Yeah. What if it's just broken glass? What if none of this means anything?
Yeah.
Right? What if I can just be and nothing, it won't affect me? So it feels like a retrospective to me.
Yeah.
In fact, I forgot to mention this, but Clear Blue to me feels like the turning point of the album, where she says the lyrics, "I'm nobody's daughter, I'm free." And the second half of this album feels free to me. Because Grown Woman, although maybe possibly about like, this is who I thought I was, who I was going to be, and I'm not, it doesn't feel like sad about it. It feels like, nah, fuck it, this is who I am. Yeah. And then Broken Glass to me feels very much like I overcame this thing that I was struggling so hard with. Obviously, you've got if she could see me now as like oh man, like I did it, right? Yeah, I arrived. And then I guess notwithstanding David, right? David feels very sad still, but it does feel free. Like we got through that relationship. I feel sad about it still, but I am on the other side of it. I feel like Clear Blue is that very clear divide there, where the front half of the album feels very like inquisitive and not sure of herself. The second half of the album does not feel that way to me.
Yeah, I so agree. That's so true.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about Broken Glass?
No, it's just ear candy. I love that song.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's great. If She Could See Me Now is a highlight for me.
This is my favorite of the album.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Talk to me about it.
So, okay, the production on the song is so fun because what is happening in the verses is basically just guitar chords that have become synthesizer sounds. I don't know how they made this. Like, it is so cool. There is like a distinct stringy sound to the synth here.
Okay.
And the way it rings just sounds like it's being played through a guitar amp. So I want to know what they did. But the way that sound, that kind of reminds me of the verses of Harder to Breathe by Maroon 5. Just a like that kind of feel. Yeah. But the way, because it's a synth, the way that it just morphs into these like huge like aura creating this like, glowing chords around her as she enters the chorus is just so cool to me. Like, that's so hard to pull off because like if you're using traditional instruments, it would be such a feel change going from that kind of guitar sound to like whatever it would need to be to make that feel of the chorus. But because it's all synthesizers, like this is like probably my coolest thing of production that I've heard this year. Like I really like this song.
It is, the production is incredible on here. I think my main takeaway is that line that I mentioned earlier, which is you can tell them I went crazy. If that's what this is, then I guess I'll take it. I bring the pain out the synthesizer, which I think is just such a great line. I bring the pain out the synthesizer, and then after that, she says the bodies move like their spirit inside them.
Ooh.
Like, oh, chills. Like, yes, like you worked it out on the remix.
Yeah,
right?
make the people dance, baby.
Kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna work it out in my music, and people are going to relate to it because they have souls, and this is the human experience, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's just such a great. Yeah, I just love that mentality. It's really cool.
This one's going number one in my house, like for sure. Like,
it's so good.
This is my bop from this album.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. David is devastating.
Horrifying.
But that moment, that moment in my headphones is like, it's been a while.
You're talking about the crescendo of the sounds, like towards the end, right before it drops out.
Yes, and how it goes in and out, in and out, in and out.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've heard a song that scratches my brain like that.
Nice.
And just feels like such a climax that I'm just like, you get chills all up my body.
Yeah.
In that moment. But it's very melodic too. Like the chorus is super melodic. It's the emotion in her voice in this song is crazy.
Yeah. Also, I read the David is a titular reference to the statue that we just saw. Like the song is about her allegedly like chipping away and finding herself.
Oh, interesting.
So she's thinking about Michelangelo making the David.
Interesting. Okay.
Which, by the way, blew my mind in person.
Yeah. It's
unbelievable.
Huge. It's absolutely massive.
And the way they have it displayed. Oh,
gorgeous.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. That was a trip highlight for sure.
I love an artist being self-referential. So the lyrics in verse 2, uppercut to the throat, I was caught off guard, pure heroin mistaken for featherweight. Good stuff.
Yep.
Love that.
Good stuff. Yeah. When I heard that, I went, oh,
yeah.
Is that? Yeah. It's good. It's good. I love that stuff too.
And unfortunately, another song about young female artists being preyed upon by the music industry. So just a classic genre.
So sad. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
What else is new?
Yeah.
It also a highlight of the album for me, David, it's
a really,
it's a great
really
beautiful ending.
Yeah.
Really
it's the catharsis I think that the whole album needs. It's like, I don't know if I arrived at anything, but like at least we went through something together and now everyone can go about their day, you know?
Yeah. So that's the album. We probably should wrap some of this up since we're going long here.
Yeah.
But I think this is a really special album. I don't think it eclipses melodrama to me, but I don't know that anything will ever eclipse melodrama for me. And that's not what I'm looking for. Like, I'm not going into Lorde projects to be the new melodrama. Like, this is its own thing. And I am damn glad that she made it. And I'm damn glad that she's off that damn beach. That's all I got to say.
So glad. And I will say in the interview, she does address the solar power era, that she felt like, the way she described it, she felt like that music touched her skin, but not her soul. And she wanted to reconnect. And she was also talking about like her struggles with fame, and solar power was her trying to run away from it. And this is her trying to re-arrive at knowing that she's a famous person, and just like, she's like, and she says like, the best version of myself is a famous person. Like, I was like, that's really thoughtful. You know?
Yeah, it's profound.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. It does feel like her heart is much more in this than it did on Solar Power.
I agree.
And you can really feel that in the music.
Yeah. 100%.
So give Lorde her flowers. This is the first album this year that I have felt really floored by.
Yeah.
And like you said, really matched the caliber that we got last year. So
yeah.
This one gets nonstop.
This one gets like penned into the top 10. Final position uncertain, but it's just like there's no world where we get to the end of the year and it's not there. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Hell yeah, Lorde.
All right. Hell yeah, Lorde. Quickly for you, is there anything that is sparking joy this?
Yeah, actually rewatching the Hunger Games movies. I rewatched all of the first 4 this week. So my Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Mockingjay Part 1 and 2. Major takeaways. The first movie has too much shaky cam, but compared to most modern blockbusters, it is a work of fucking art. Like, it is an amazing film. And then Catching Fire is just as good. And then Mockingjay should have been 1 3-hour movie, but it's not their fault. It was the studio.
Yeah.
Prerogative.
It was also the trend at the time.
It was.
Split everything into
it's
two
a
parts.
bad trend. It was only to
Terrible
make money
trend.
and just bad for art. But
Yep, agreed.
it could have been one really great 3-hour movie, and instead you get 2 mediocre movies.
Yeah, part 2 I like significantly more than part 1.
Yeah, I mean, nothing happens in part 1. Part 2 at least like has stuff happen, but it is such a dark movie that it's just honestly hard to get through. Like
yeah, it's really sad.
I actually had to watch that one. Like I watched half and then the other half of part 2.
Yeah,
because it really is just like the last
rough.
hour is so draining. Like everybody dies. Like it is just so brutal and not fun. So
Catching Fire remains the
goated,
goat.
Absolutely goated.
So incredible.
It's a great story. Period.
Did you finish Sunrise on the Reaping?
No, I'm like halfway through. So
okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
It's really good. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's really good. Let's see. For me, I think I mentioned this last time. I can't remember. We started Gossip Girl.
Oh,
I think I did mention this last time.
Girl.
Having so much fun with Go Piss Girl. I love a mindless, dumb teen drama. Sorry, just love it.
Yeah, that's great.
And I just am floored at how little the rest of that cast has done, other than Penn Badgley and Blake Lively. Like,
what happened to Leighton Meester? It's so confusing. She's so talented.
I don't know. She did that one song with Cobra Starship.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember that?
She had a recurring role on How I Met Your Father, which was like a really weird thing. But she wasn't even a series regular. She was just like a recurring character. Like she was one of those people that just didn't want to be famous. Like it might
be. I mean, I don't know. She's great in Gossip Girl.
It's very confusing.
The most unlikable character ever, but she does a great job with it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so that's really fun. I'm also just we just did some home projects, just some cosmetic stuff, and looks really good. I'm very excited about it. So
nice.
Yeah, I would say that's what sparking joy for me.
Yay! Well, so glad to hear that. So for our listeners, thanks for bearing with us while we've been away for a little bit. We are now going to get back to our every 2-week schedule. Hopefully we'll have something fun planned for you the next episode. We don't know exactly what it's going to be yet. I don't want to like spoil anything that might be in the works. So we will see you then in about 2 weeks. You want to quickly hit them with the socials where we can find us?
Yeah, absolutely. You can follow us on our socials. Instagram, TikTok, we're just there at the Daily Record Spin. Actually, I think Instagram is at the Daily Record Spin _podcast. You can also email us at thedailyrecordspin@gmail.com. Hit us with any questions, interact with our videos on TikTok, comment below on the TikToks. I think when we eventually do a mailbag episode, we'll probably get most of that from TikTok. So definitely follow us there and start engaging with some of the content there. Other than that, you can always email us or DM us with any questions, comments, or ideas for episodes. We're always happy to have that. So
absolutely. Yeah. All right. We will see you again in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for listening to the Daily Record Spin.